What's going on, everybody? It's Q Jackson, host of BLK Talk. Look, I was over here preparing for another amazing episode, but look, I need you guys to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell so that you guys don't miss any of our amazing conversations. Have a new episode coming to you in 5, 4, 3, 2. What's going on, everybody? It's Q Jackson, host of BLK Talk. And today is a very special episode, as every episode is very special. But today I have one of my favorite people, one of my favorite influencers, impactors, entrepreneurs, design, all that good stuff. Mr. Archie Clay III is here on BLK Talk. Archie, welcome to BLK Talk.
I appreciate you having me, man. Always good times around you.
Of course. If you guys remember the beginning of COVID, when I was doing my Instagram Live interviews with the Quintessential Gentleman, Archie was actually our first IG Live, and we talked about entrepreneurship and all kinds of stuff. I think we did, 3, 4 interviews possibly?
Yeah.
You guys were a big hit in the QG. Oh, you know what? As a matter of the fact, my write-up, my interview with you guys went viral. So you are a big part of my journalistic history.
Family.
Yes,
family.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
So look, tell the people about you.
Oh, I mean, that's
the people who have not been in Atlanta, because if you've been in Atlanta, you know this man. You have seen him a little bit of everywhere. But for those who haven't.
So I think for me, it's like roots of East Side of Atlanta, Chattanooga. Was born in Chattanooga, raised on the East Side of Atlanta. Family is like life for me. Like everything I do is around family. You know what I mean? So like creating, inspiring, just being someone that's trying to be impactful, trying to show purpose through my journey, but also maybe hopefully to impact individual out there. So my journey's been cool, man. You know, co-founder of Wear Brims, was the first luxury hat company to be in Nordstrom's. That's my foundation, right? The beginning. But now we're transitioning into a new journey, you know, of figuring out ways to create change through fashion, by utilizing our culture and our influence to be great, and just doing dope shit. You know what I mean? And really, hopefully, like I said, it's all about inspiring. Like, if we can inspire one person just by the things that we're doing every single day and how we're impacting and how we're helping our community and people around us to get to, honestly, the bag and success and fellowship and just being great. That's what I'm all about. So that's who I am.
Yes. And he's a man who believes in fashion. So every time I see you, like,
Little drip.
I mean, just always. Like, this man inspired me to roll up a little scarf tied around my neck and just rock it in a very fashionable way. It's simple, but it makes a statement.
Right.
And it's like you're like a quiet storm.
I can take that. I like that.
Yeah. You're like a quiet storm in the industry. Like, y'all came in and it's just like slowly but surely took over. You were everywhere doing everything. A part of not everything, but everything that mattered, everything that was impactful. And here we are, 6 later, and you're embarking on a new endeavor.
Yeah.
If you guys can see, the B is here, but if you can see Brain Love, so 2023 is about to be a year of newness for you.
No, for sure. Super excited.
Tell us about the Brain Love.
So Brain Love is who I evolved, who I have evolved to be now. It was a period where I was trying to figure out what the next phase is. Not as motivated, as inspired as I would have liked to be. But I think God works in mysterious ways, and I think if you embrace faith and you embrace things that are your flaws or things that you're not used to. You know, I'm not overly super spiritual, but I think sometimes guys like, you gotta get tapped back into that. You know what I mean? So there's a period where I was just like asking God just for like, just be there with me. Like, give me a space to put my energy. Mm-hmm. Honestly, it's kind of like so crazy to think about it. It's the same story when I formed Wear Brims, right? It's the same thought process. Like, when you give yourself space to kind of think and take evolution and to evolve, I think there's a period where God gives you different things that he said, hey, maybe this is something for you, right? So I think at this time period, it's just like, I think God gave me something that's like, yo, I think this is for you. Because it's crazy. It's a crazy story, right? So essentially, when I thought about the idea, it was my fiance. And we were thinking about bars, right? It was just like, oh, think about a dope bar. My girl said, a brainchild. I was like, oh, that's kind of fire. So for me, I started thinking about different ideas of like, it could be an empire, it could be a chain, you know, it could be so many different things, right? So I was in a car, I was on some little tree, so my elevation was a little higher, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, okay, I think I could spin this. I think I could create something special around the mindset because I've always wanted to talk about merging like fashion and like mental health. And honestly, essentially making it cooler. And not it being something that's frowned upon. And when you think about it, it's like empowering, right? But at the time, thought about brainchild, fast forward, realized that someone had the name already. So now I'm like, damn, like I was talking to God, like, damn, is this something I'm supposed to be doing? Like, I feel like it's a roadblock in front of a roadblock. I was having multiple roadblocks, and I had created a whole piece collection for it already. So I was moving. And then I got this, all from a name, just like getting my idea, my thoughts out. I created a whole 7-piece collection with that name. And then come find somebody had it. And I was just like, okay, let me just think about this. So I'm thinking in my head, and I told myself, I said, Archie, don't be so like literal, like with yourself. Like, don't be so, this time what you're doing is that you're creating a company. You're not creating a brand, you're creating a company. Like you want to be a CEO, you want to be someone that can create something, take your vision and actually take it to something that makes profit, right? So that was my thought process this time around. It's like, yo, like don't, because sometimes when you're passionate about something, that's not passionate about it, but when you're like, it's my baby, you're trying to find the perfect thing to align to that vision. But sometimes it don't have to be so perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's something that you need to create a story around. So then I was like,
authentic.
Right. So then I was like, okay, what about brain love? I said that makes sense. It's connected to my love of my mind, the love of being strong, the love of always evolving, the love of just being great. Because the whole thought process around brain love was that we wanted to create a brand that connected to people always wanting to be the best version of themselves, but truly understanding how to get to that next level. It's not about being perfect, it's about being imperfect. You know what I mean? It's about being someone that every single day I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna try, right? Everybody has their own goals and success factors that they want to impact, right? I want to be a billionaire. So what are the things I'm going to do that I don't like that I'm going to do to get better? You talk about LeBron and Kobe and all these amazing people that have done amazing things, but what they've done is had discipline, right? Discipline and faith and changing your mindset consistently aligns to you potentially with a little luck and a little faith from God to get into wherever that success looks for you. So for me, it's like fostering, brain love foster a customer that is taking every step, small step, to get to that next level. Like, I'm gonna wake up at 8 o'clock every day. Okay, I'll wake up. Oh, I missed it. Damn, okay, I'm gonna get back to it. It's just like, it's not, you don't have to hit it every single day, as long as you're just trying. That's our customer. Our customer is someone that, of course, wants quality pieces, that wants to be fly, that wants to be cool, but they don't want to be cool because of someone else. They want to be cool because they are cool inside. So that's our thought process. Is who I am. Like, I am someone, I've evolved, right? Where, you know, I love fashion. I love dressing. I love being comfortable. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like being comfortable can still be fly. You know what I mean? So for us, it's creating pieces. So it'll be a luxury apparel and accessories company that is focused on just impacting through mental health, right?
So as far as like the pieces that you're preparing to launch now, like what can the people look forward to as a part of the launch?
Phil, just touch this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, dope back. It wasn't no fake one the first time. You know how sometimes I tell you to touch it, you try to do it because we on TV. Right now, we on
Now,
live.
y'all know I like
you know
a comfortable, stretchy fabric, boy.
You know
You just did something with that.
So for us, it's like we're gonna be hand sourcing materials like Peru, of course, have manufactured in China, Italy, but like really just finding great pieces, like even our hats, like cashmere. Being very intentional to different materials, different fabrics, but minimal, right? Because at the end of the day, it's like it'll have a pop, but it's something that you want to wear consistently because it's gonna feel so comfortable. But also it's going to align with how you feel. You know what I mean? When I put on Brain Love, I want to feel that way when I'm walking, when I'm with my family. I want to get that energy off. You know what I mean? So our pieces will reflect that, from the packaging to everything. Everything has a story. Everything has a story of like, don't stop, basically. You know, I guess you'd say our tagline is like, your evolution starts with you.
Now, go and look at the people and say that again.
Your evolution starts with you. You know what I mean? So like, if you want to be your best self, just take that small step. Like, take that small step to whatever goal that you're inspired or want to be, or whatever your life. Like, you can definitely make it happen. But you know, I think it's just getting out your mind and making it happen. That's why it's like that mindset is important. Like, being strong-minded allows you to make decisions that you normally probably won't do because you're afraid.
Now, what I want to know, evolving, evolution, leveling up, and things like that. How do you feel like you've evolved since the beginning of your journey as an entrepreneur that prepares you for right now, today, where you are?
When you're in a corner and it may not be a way out, but you still be able to find that way out, that's why I'm different now. Because it's like, you're always going to have situations that's going to test you to figure out where you're going to be. Like, the greatest always have a situation that's going to test them, right? I feel like I've been tested for a lot of times, but you got to take the test with a test. Like, cry, you know what I'm saying? Have your emotions, you know what I mean? And be human. But then again, it's just like, can nobody help you but yourself? You can communicate with your family. You can express yourself. That's all about being mentally strong, not being afraid to share vulnerability, you know, with people that you're close to, of course. You know what I mean? But that gives me strength. Like, being able to, in my worst times, like, being able to communicate that I'm not having a good time. You know what I mean? Like, that gives me power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For my family to say, yo, you got it. Like, you that guy. You know what I mean? So it's like, when you get that energy, that's how I've evolved now, where it's like, I know in order to get where I want to be, I gotta be disciplined. I gotta take the necessary steps to get to the next step every single day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I've evolved. Like, I'm not the same person when we started Wear Brims. I'm not the same person now. You know what I mean? But I think that's power, right? Even how I communicate, like the way I communicate and the way I tell stories and the way I connect it back to my life. Like, I realized, like, my life has been cool. My life has been crazy at the same time, where people might not know, like, the hidden root of the mental health connection for me is that my father had a mental breakdown when I was 3. So when he walked out, it was just me and my mom. And literally my mom told me a story like a couple months ago. She was like, yeah, like, you know, but we were talking about it. And it kind of gave me strength talking about things like that. And I was just like, she was basically just like, you know, when we had got to one of our friends, like, we had to stay with one of our friends. And she was like, yeah, you asked me what's I going to lead to. You know what I mean? So for me to go back to that situation and have a conversation with my mom in a different period of life where we're so much stronger because of those things, it could have been 90 days. Like, my mom could have been talking shit about my dad. And, you know, that energy could have been different, but she didn't talk that way about him. Her main focus is like, shit gonna happen in your life. Like, same way that happened. I couldn't cry. Like, she probably did, but in that moment, we were getting kicked out of our house. So, like, we had to get our stuff up and move. She didn't have time to mourn, you know, cry, whatever it may be. You know what I mean? So I think there's strength in that energy of remembering that, you know what I mean, and fostering it into your current life. It's like, things gonna happen. But it's like I said, it starts with you in order to make decisions to get out of the situation, regardless of what it is. You know what I mean? Everybody has their own shit they go through. You know what I mean? So for us, it's like, it's just being able to give people the tools to be able to do that. Like, we have so many ideas around the brand. It's just not for it being to be functional, right? For example, we have the thought process what we're currently working on right now. It's called the brain. So anytime a customer purchases a product from us, with our amazing packaging and things of that nature, you will have access to the brain. So the brain will be a resource hub of us giving you tools to help you be the best version of yourself. right? So it's like we're not just talking about it. We're saying, hey, Brain Love is invested in our customers to truly be the best version of who they are, right? To do that,
Now, it's not a lot of brands that you hear of that actually take the brand beyond the purchase.
right?
Like y'all are bringing these people in, and you guys are actually creating like a family, a network of
And I'm
people.
not done yet. I'm not done. I got more. So for us, it's like for me, it's being very intentional because I think there's a lot of power in hearing somebody or seeing someone push forward through struggle, right? And I think that for me, even through my struggle, I'm not a reader, but I know that's important, right? I'm not a journal, I don't journal, like I know that's important too. Communicating, therapy, like financial literacy, all these things are important too if you're trying to reach that $10,000 goal, or you're trying to reach that $50,000 goal, or that $100,000 goal. But real people don't realize like as those increase, how it becomes more difficult. So the discipline needs to become more stricter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can't be the same person when you made 10 when you get 50. You can't be the same person when you made 50 when you get 100. That person has to change. So you got to be used to saying, yo, like every time I inch, I'm going to continue to challenge myself to be better. You know what I mean? Just intentionally on your own self. We're not talking about nobody else but yourself. You know what I mean? So we want to make sure that we're just giving people the tools and the comfortability to say, yo, like, it's okay that you lost your job yesterday. Yeah, own that emotion. You know what I'm saying? Like, it all happens to it. I lost a job too. What's what you gonna do afterwards? You gonna still mope? You know what I'm saying? If you are struggling with how you're reacting to it, are you gonna go talk to somebody? These are all decisions that we should make. That it's hard to make. Don't get me wrong. Like not everybody's in that position, unfortunately, to make those tough decisions. But we just want to be able to help one person that may not have those decisions, or may not have that mom like me, or may not have that support system. But they say, "Dang, this brand is like really trying to help us." Not just with like, I don't care if you buy. You don't gotta buy 3 or 4. I'm not telling you. You just buy one. Come into the ecosystem. You don't gotta buy nothing else no more. We just want to make sure that like it's not a lifestyle. I wouldn't call it a lifestyle brand. It's more like just a universal thought process of change.
Now you talked about individuals and discipline, how it helps them evolve to the next chapter, to the next stage, and become better versions of themselves. But the fact that you're creating a network, how important do you feel like your environment is to individual growth?
I mean, I think it's important, man. Like I said, I come from East Carolina, Stoneman High School. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know about Stoneman, you might not know, but it's not a roughest area, but it's rough. You know what I mean? And I think that a lot of times in inner cities or different areas with majority black, you can get lost. You can get lost literally in it. You know what I mean? And you could be the most talented person in the world, but it's just law of nature. When you're not connected to something that's truly good for you, it take you down a journey that you probably don't want to go, especially when you don't have somebody to bring you back. You know what I mean? So I just believe that it's important to be around people that genuinely want you to win, most importantly. You know what I mean? And sometimes you have to lose people out of your life to continue to evolve. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't have the same friends from high school.
I know what you're saying.
I don't have the same friends from high school. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the same friends. Sometimes, people don't align to you. You know what I mean? And I think even when you're just around people, especially if you want to financially get to the next level, you got to be around people that got more money than you. Because they move differently. Yeah. They think differently. Yeah, the thought process around money is different for someone that ain't making no money. They trying to I've been there. I've been had a little money, didn't have no money. You know what I'm saying? Your thought process, then your psyche change, like, can't move the way you want to make. Even we talk about business. That's why brands and these companies are able to scale so quickly, because it's the resource, the cash. It's not the name. They can build, if you have cash, you can build a company and scale it. I don't think people realize, like, you can hire people to create your brand strategy to go to market and get there more quickly. That's what happens with these bigger brands. That's why they get into the market more quickly, because they have cash to hire team that's done it before
Yeah.
to do it again, get you to a certain point, and then you bring your own team in. You know what I mean? So it's like
resources are
definitely key. So like in order to build resources, you gotta be around the right people.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be able to connect. You gotta be able to network. You gotta be able to go out your comfort zone. Like you can't. If you really want to get to the bag, I'm just gonna tell you, unless you got money, you ain't got no cash. You really want to get to the bag, you can't be an introvert.
So for those people who have a vision, have an idea, and they want to get it somewhere, but they are an introvert, like, are there any things that you've experienced that have allowed you or those? I'm sure you got some people that may have been close to you,
so
that probably were. Like, what did you tell them?
So I have a friend. Well, I have a friend that's introvert, and I always tell her. Well, she's my fiance, so I'm just saying she's an introvert. But I always tell her it's about, for them, it's get out your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Cause they think so constantly.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, okay, let me go to the interview. What they just say? Oh, you know, what question I like to ask? You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, like, be in the moment. Because they can tell when you think about it too hard. And I know it's hard for them to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always, I want to make sure I'm answering the question the best way I can.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, but God gave you he gave you who you are for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's just being comfortable in who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
confidence
over
is
time,
real.
and yes, and a lot of times they got confidence. Mm-hmm. It's just being comfortable in the confidence you have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, like, you're very intelligent. You don't have to think about the question. You don't have to think about what you should respond to. You should be comfortable and believe that you will say the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you will. 10 times out of 10, you do say it. Or somebody else say you say the right thing all the time. Not even know it. But when you start thinking about it, you start doubting yourself. Yeah. But I see you do it all the time just with my own eyes. So it's really just getting out your mind, honestly. Yeah. It's really what it is.
So earlier, you mentioned pretty much shedding. I feel like this has been a year where a lot of people have started to shed a lot of things in order to welcome and embrace other things into their lives. Right. Me personally, whether it was friendships, whether it was business ventures, whether it was, family situations, whether it was just issues, that you have been holding on to. I've noticed that a lot of people have gone through moments like that this year, and it has made them stronger. It's definitely tested a lot of people's mental health. So for you, what do you think you had to, I guess, shed in order to become who you are at this very moment?
I would say I just had to shed certain identities of myself. Right? Meaning that we all have different identities, people that connect to us. But I think it's important that at a certain time that everybody can't come with you, and every identity or idea that you have can come with you. You know what I'm saying? So I think for me, it's like, it's life. Like, God don't give us, if you believe in a higher power, you believe in all that, you have faith, you know that everything happens for a reason. Like, truly. And if something happens and it doesn't come back for a reason. It's like talking to a shawty in college, bro. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't work out. You leave college, maybe 3 years after that, you double back. Don't work out again. Bro, that shit ain't working because it ain't supposed to work out, bro. It ain't work out the first time. Why you think it'll work out again?
Because you keep trying to force it.
You keep trying to force the issue and force the energy, right? At the end of the day, of course, we can all be grown adults. We can have conversations to try to mend whatever situation that we want to mend. But even in that situation, you have to have a conscious decision and say, hey, like, how do I impact that as a person? From both sides, you gotta look at whatever spectrum that looks like, right? And if it doesn't align, then it doesn't align. It's okay. It's just life. Like, but what do you do after? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you let it fester? Like, do you let it become a part of your identity? Like, no. Like, things happen. Like, when you have a breakup or whatever it may be, like, I think the best ones are where they're just like, yo, like, it's okay. Like, it didn't work. And that doesn't mean that either either individual is a bad person. It's just that either individual is just not aligned anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even from business to love to family, like sometimes people don't grow, and it's not their fault. It's just probably because they've not been exposed to anything, or yeah, like, or someone within your thought processes. You know, this is what I'm saying. I think it's important for people to evolve because at the same time, like people sometimes don't have. It's not always about the person. You gotta have people in your circle to continue to help you evolve, right? So if, like, for example, if my mom or my fiance doesn't check a particular thought process they saw that don't make sense, and if I bring it to your attention and you just like, yo, that's just who I am. Nah, like, you want to be the same person that you were 25 and you were 30? Can't use that thought process. It's not about being who you were. It's about being better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, if we want to be who we are, then we want to be 18 again? We want to have an 18 thought process? You know what I mean? Like, you got to consistently evolve your mind. And I think a lot of times people are afraid to evolve their mind because that's what we're accustomed to.
Yeah.
And I think that's nothing wrong with that. But I think for that individual, they got to understand people are not going to align to that if they're trying to evolve. So you can't be selfish and expect them to be in the same thought process as you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there's beauty in everybody at the end of the day. It's beauty in every single person in the world. But some people just start to realize, like, for example, pork ain't good, bro. Yeah, it ain't good. Pork ain't good for you. I'm just saying, like, for someone to realize it, oh, pork ain't good for you.
I was about to say, don't
No,
talk about my bacon.
No, listen, I know people love bacon, but let's just get to the point. Pork really ain't good for you. There's a lot of shit ain't good for you. You know what I mean? So when you talk to somebody and say, boy, you ain't eat pork no more. It's okay to make a conscious decision saying that I just like pork. I know it's not good. I just like it.
Yeah.
That's fine. But you just say, like, nah, bro, that shit is good for you. It's like, no, that's not true.
You acknowledging the truth.
You need to acknowledge the truth, but you make the decision.
Yes.
If you want to continue to eat, but know that it has consequences with you eating it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with cheating. It's the same thing with all different things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You still have a decision to say, I know that's wrong. But the difference is saying, I know it's wrong, but I know it's just wrong. Versus saying, I know it's wrong, but I'm going to tell people and make them think that I know it's still wrong to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's business. That's like, for lovers, like, it's all about just being aware. And the easier people are aware, the easier life can be. But that's why you got to share niggas, because niggas don't know how to be aware.
Now, for you, your family is a big part of your life. Your friend circle, the people you went to college with. Like, I see y'all still kicking it, supporting, loving each other, and doing amazing things. Now, for you, why is that an important piece of your life, and how has that helped you to become the guy you are?
It's simple, bro. Like, so growing up, it was always just me, my mom, my little brother, my little sister. Like, I grew up with grandparents and stuff, but we wasn't as close, just with different trauma that happened with family. So it was always just us. You know what I mean? So I've always, even when I went to school, I always embraced, like, my friends. Like, I went to school, I met my closest friends first semester of college, met my other homies second semester, and just locked in. Of course, you kind of bounce back to different friend groups to figure out what works, but it's kept bouncing back to the ass. You feel me? But when you have solid community, I don't know, for me, man, it just makes me feel good. You know what I mean? Too. My girl says all the time, like, y'all group is special. Because she was like, y'all really are intentional with trying to make sure y'all get better. Not just individually, but as a core. Because it's hard, especially as men, right? Trying to hold your boys accountable, telling them to hold you accountable. But that's time, bro. Like, 15 plus years of friendship, of just, like, locking in and knowing they know you. I know you. Like, even with the bad up, I know you. Come on now. I know you. I know they're going to treat you differently, but I know you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's good to have that type of person, because it's like, yo, I can hold you. I can humble you. I can keep you locked in. So my friends, I'm like, bro, they keep me locked in, keep me motivated, keep me humble. It's competition. You know what I'm saying? Who gonna get to it first? Who get to the bag first? Like even family, like I have a niece now, so like the whole thought process, just like grinding and building legacy is just about name and being able to make sure she ain't gotta worry about shit. You know, that's just my niece. Like I still want her to worry about anything. Like she want to do whatever she want to do in life when she gets older. Like I want her mom be able to call me like, hey, you got to have access to this, man. I think she would love this. Yeah, easy. That's my thought process. Like, how do I could build as much resources as possible so that my kids and my nieces and my nephews all have access. Even my mom, my fiance, if they decide they want to change careers in the future, hey, I want to act. Oh shit, okay, bam. Let's get you some acting class. I know the top dude. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's not about. Of course, it's about making money. But money gives you access. Let's just be real. Money gives you access that a lot of us didn't have growing up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you truly want to be access, you truly want to impact, even from a brand perspective, it's like we need to make money in order to impact. But at the same time, we've said that hey, we want to partner with Silence of Shame, and donate 5% of our sales annually to their nonprofit, while also programming. You know what I mean? But in order to do that, we need to drive sales, of course. It's a whole ecosystem. You need money to impact. If you want to make the highest impact in the world, you gotta have capital. And that goes back to resources as well, for family and friends and things of that nature.
Now, speaking of Silence of Shame, now you just touched on that. And if you can, for the people who may not be familiar with Silence of Shame, started by Shanti Daz almost 10 years ago.
No, she's been in the game. She's a legend.
No. I'm saying the Silence the Shame.
Oh, yeah.
Now, she's been in the industry, music-wise,
time,
for a while, some decades.
I think, yeah, it's something like 10 years. I think. I can't remember. But they're doing some solid impact. That's why we wanted to partner with them, because I think that it's important for people to already make sure that people know that we're not just using it. You know what I mean? Like, that's not our focus. Like, our focus is to truly make sure we impact, and we know that in order to help, these nonprofits need capital.
Yeah.
To create programming, like to create more programming in different cities, to be able to impact in different cities, impact kids, just to be able to do amazing things. And I think, like, if you really want to, like I said, man, it's unfortunate, but money does play a role in like how we can make things change. Like, you know, we talk about change, we talk about, of course, voting and all these different things, which matter. We definitely need to vote and all that, but we gotta get our bag up too. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we want to help our people, you know what I mean? Like, we got to get capital so that we can make, I know, what's the dude from Boston? He's got that contract. He said he's going to invest in his people. I think that's dope. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's like us doing the same thing, being an invest in an organization like Sounds of Shame that's already been doing the work.
Yeah.
They already been doing the work. We just want to give them some more, some lending hand financially, and also, you know, from a programming standpoint as well.
So within the community of fashion, within the community of mental health, why do you feel it was important for you, in addition to the reasons that you mentioned earlier, to merge the two?
I mean, I think mental health has always been something that we kind of like don't talk about freely, and it's not embraced, especially growing up, you know what I mean? But I think if you look at the news, there's so many people that are dying from suicide. They're saying they have depression and saying these different things, and I think that's just a sign like there's time for a little change, right? They're trying for. I hope other brands want to do something similar to this. I hope it starts a trend of other brands and companies wanted to help different causes that they think. I think if we can all connect into a cause, I mean, if it's a billion brands in the world, ain't that many diseases in the world, you know, that are impacting us, so we can connect to it and really help. I think that could be impactful. I think that makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? So it's like, why not? Right? Why not help a cause that is close to me from my own personal side, it's close to other people in my family from their personal side, and make an impact? Like, we need, like, at the end of the day, like, if it's a full circle to me, it's like success, getting more black CEOs. But in order to get more black CEOs, we gotta be more mentally strong. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I don't think people realize when you want to be those top individuals, it's a lot of time, it's a lot of discipline you gotta have, because you gotta balance family, it ain't just because you're rich don't mean you gotta keep the bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's being mentally strong. I think a lot of times, um, I know some brands are doing things. What some brands, not brands, but like some like record labels are like having therapists connected to, and I think that LBRN are doing that over there. They have therapists with each artist. It's optional for them to use it, but that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like
you don't hear about that.
you don't hear about stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's like it's putting it out there. Like I think it's cool. It'd be cool for a fashion brand like ourselves, brand love to create dope pieces and want to create luxury pieces and comfortable pieces that feel amazing. But like on our back end, we're not gonna be using that as a forefront of our market. It's how we just talked about it. You know what I mean? But it's a still like when a customer sees our campaigns, want them to feel refreshing. I want them to see like, oh wow, it's like that's fire. But then we read the story, it's like, oh, y'all doing more. You know what I mean? Like we want our customer to think bigger. Like you think about Patagonia, like what they're doing, like saving trees and their environment. Like those brands are truly impacting. You know what I mean? So why can't be a fashion brand that creates those stuff to do the same thing?
Impact. Now you've used that word quite a few times, and you have managed to make your impact on Atlanta as a whole in the fashion industry, in the entertainment industry, and in the lifestyle industry. Patron.
Go people.
Yes, they selected you as an influencer, and what over the last year?
Yeah, it was like around like November.
Okay.
I started officially in January.
Okay.
Called around like November, yeah.
So to get that call, to be able to be a part of such a reputable brand and do some amazing things throughout the city, like how did that come about and how did that feel?
Maybe relationships. It's all relationships, but of course, getting something like that is like it just kind of gives you confidence. I think everything you do gives you confidence, right? Because you want to test your ability to do different things, like curate, like create experiences. Like that's always been my thing. Like I've been doing parties and doing like stuff like that since college. You know what I mean? Like bananas, like we going crazy. You know what I mean? So getting better, evolving, and look when you get older, it's like how do you make it align to you, who you are? And I think that was something I got a chance to do with Patron. It's like really curating dinners, like having conversations and doing dope things that is aligned to this, celebrating individuals, you know what I mean? And giving people flowers, and within your own community. I think that's why they picked me, because they knew I had connectivity to the community. And just doing different things. We did something for K-Cam. We did a women's empowerment dinner. I did something for my groomsmen's. You know what I mean? So just doing dope things to be able to connect. And I'm thinking for me, it's like, it's another layer to your resume, but also another skill set to have. Even back to as a CEO, like now I can understand like, okay, it's important to create these dinners and highlight individuals, right? So as we grow, as Brand Love grows, it's like, how do we curate experiences when people walk in and just like, wow. You want to have those wow moments, you know what I'm saying? Like being able to create those wow moments where people can connect, that goes back to the brand ethos, and like at the end of the day, like to evolve, to be great. So wow, like those true steps you make, you should embrace those wow moments. Like getting your first letter or whatever, if you trying to hoop or whatever, but getting your first acting gig, like that, it may be just a regular commercial. That's a wow moment. That little moment gives you confidence to get to the next big moment, the next big moment. So you always embrace those big moments, and you can just keep pushing forward. You know what I'm saying? So like, we embrace this shit.
So for you, in the spirit of pushing forward, Brain Love officially launches
September 30th,
which is coming up, y'all. It's here.
Some work to do.
So what are you looking forward to from this initial push?
Just showing my true worth, honestly. Showing my true worth, honestly, like it's for me. This is for me. You know what I mean? And we just hope that people love what they see. They align with the story that we're telling. They understand the story that we're trying to tell. They support us, even if you don't write any piece, to spread the word. Because at the end of the day, it's like we need more brands like this that are curating amazing pieces, but also curating impact at the same time. You know what I mean? So it's for me, man. Like this is a project, not a project, but like a company that I'm building where we want to be able to change at least one person's life. I want to be able to get at least one letter a year to say, yo, like, the stories that y'all telling, how y'all impacting, conversations y'all are creating, help me get through a situation in my life that I ain't gonna be able to get to. So if I can get an email or a call or a message from a customer that's saying that, we won, right? That's the whole purpose of this.
I mean, if you know, doing everything that you say you're gonna do, I mean, and people are paying attention to not only this conversation, but the many conversations that I know you'll have over the next few days, weeks, months.
Right.
You'll definitely get that.
Yeah, that's the purpose, man. Like I think the thought process is to understand that I read this book and it was just telling me, and I've been reading 2 books actually. So I'm getting through them. One book talks about how God is our creator, right? But him being a creator aligns to him being a creative, right? Which aligns to us being creatives in our own way, right? So for me, it's like embracing that and saying, yo, I'm a creative in my own right. Let me curate and create this space of change. You know what I'm saying? So that space of change can impact it, you know? And if we can do that and have people in our pieces and feeling comfortable and feeling swaggy, but feeling comfortable in themselves because of themselves.
Empowered. When you put
that's
that piece on, you feel empowered.
Like it's not only should it feel good on your skin, which it does, you know, it should feel good in your heart too. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So like that's the only thing we want to inspire, man. This is taking the roots that I've learned from my previous company and doing consulting and doing different things and helping other brands. It's just like, let's tap in. Let's really create something special. That's what I think what we're on a break of doing.
Now, for your legacy, what do you want people to know about you now? And what do you want people to say about you 30, 40, 50 years from now?
Man, first, family and God fearing, you know, at the end of the day, right? But more importantly, man, I just want people to say, man, he always wanted people to eat. I just want to put money in my people's mouths. That's all I care about. If I can double my photographer's bag, my videographer bag, my CFOs, Mario Owens, like if I can give these people opportunities that we maybe never would have had because of my hustle, my grind, and position us, and just being someone that people respect, and just always when they come in contact with me, they just always say that he's always a breath of fresh air. He got a little goofiness to him. He gonna make you laugh. It's always gonna be me. You know what I'm saying? He gonna make you laugh, but at the end of the day, he about his business. I remember one time one person told me, he was like, man, like you a goofy ass man. You goofy, but you always about your business when it comes to like when it's time to really talk about business. And that's why just being able to switch it off. It's like, yo, like we can giggle, we can talk. That's true who I am. I'm a little kid at heart. But when we talk about money, I'm still giving you the same energy because, you know, I think naturally, like my background is in HR, so I always care about culture and like, and because it's always a struggle when you're a CEO, because you want to be most CEOs are not, majority of perception of a CEO is like cold-blooded, like I'm gonna stab you first type situation, whereas it's like you want to have a balance of like being taken seriously, but also being a serious personality because that aligns to building relationships. You know what I mean? Someone be able to trust you just off of one conversation and feeling comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I think that's like what they say in Spider-Man, like, you know, great responsibility comes great. What's this like? What they say? With great power comes great responsibility.
Yes.
So that's a power.
See, he probably read that.
That's a power right there. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to someone to talk to you and feel comfortable with you the first time. That's a power.
Respected but approachable.
Exactly. I want to be respected, but also approachable. I never want to feel like someone's like, I can approach him or I can't give him a call. Like small, big, large. I will always, of course, time will change as far as like how much you can do in a day, of course, a week. But I'll always give a smaller outlet opportunity to talk in a big one. Vice versa, doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, you can change somebody's life just about what influence you have based on what you do for them.
Yes. So look, make sure y'all support. Tell the people how they can find you and Brain Love.
For sure, you can find us, Brain Love, like you spell brain and love, _official on all platforms. Also, you'll be able to see us in Saxon Avenue soon as well. So just a little, just want to just drop that little nugget right there. But of course, you can follow me, Archie Clay III on Instagram. Check out our website. It's not open yet, but we are giving VIP access to people that sign up for our website before the launch. So we're super excited about everything we're doing, man. So check us out, man. We got more stuff coming. We're gonna buy. You know, you see this little drip. A little drip going crazy.
Like, I gotta get me one of them.
You can't have this in Tuskegee, but you ain't gonna.
See, I mean, whatever that material is, like,
Don't try to take my materials.
But like, as you know, like we're definitely locked in. So anytime you have anything going on, anytime you need to have a conversation,
y'all been locked
about
in.
whatever, let's make it happen.
Been locked in.
And I appreciate you, and I'm with you on this next journey. So
let's go.
Let's do it.
We on the ride.
And thank you guys for, of course, always tuning in to BLK Talk. And we'll be back with another amazing episode soon. Make sure you guys follow, support, share, hit the notification bell, and all that good stuff. And make sure you guys support Archie and Brain Love. Coming to you soon.
Coming to you live.
Yes.